Hello, everybody. This is Nick Totero, Professor of Information Technologies and Computer Science at Lakeland Community College. All right, I'm going to call this video Real Quick Python. I'm basically going to be looking at a series of string methods that are going to convert the string and then return that converted value. Remember, strings are immutable, meaning strings don't change. When we run them through a method or we attach a method to them, they'll get converted and be sent back to you, but the actual string does not change. If we want to change a string, we're going to have to reassign it. Not really worried about that in this video, more concerned with actually just the string method. Well, let's go up to my screen and you're going to notice I'm using something called Google Colab. It's an environment. It's an IDE environment. I can write code, different programming languages. This one I'm using Python. It's often used for demonstrations and testing. It's significantly used in data analytics. Colab means collaboration. So you can share these different environments with people you may be collaborating with. It is based on Juniper notebooks. Again, it's really meant for collaboration, extensively used in the data analytics realm. I use it for my demonstrations because sometimes I like to segment the blocks of code and run individual portions of the code. So if we look at my screen, I have three variables here. I have full name LC standing for lowercase, and that is two sentences, two English sentences, but all in lowercase. Full name uppercase, same two sentences, but all the characters are in uppercase. And then full name F for formatting, meaning that I capitalize the first character of each sentence. Now, I'm being very cautious with the use of the word sentence. Python doesn't understand sentences. Python just sees this as one long string, or actually three long strings. Python can care less about sentence structure, and we're going to see that in some of the demonstrations. Remember, Python sees these as individual strings, not as sentences. Actually, the sentences come from the Zen of Python. If you do a search on Zen of Python, I think there's 19 of them. There's the first couple ones: beautiful is better than ugly, and simple is better than complex. Well, let's see what goes on here. Well, the first method we're going to look at is capitalize. And what capitalize does is it takes the first character of the string, capitalizes it, and then takes the rest of the string and lowercase it. Now, again, Python doesn't see this as a sentence. So what we should see is each one of these strings should have the first character capitalized and then the remainder is lowercase. So let's run this. And sure enough, that's what we get. Each one of these, the first character is capitalized. But notice down here that second sentence is meaningless to Python. It says first character of the string capitalized, remainder characters all get lowercase. Now, this is kind of an interesting one. Casefold and lower are two methods that appear to do the same thing, but they're slightly different. We'll start with lower. Lower takes the string. I just had them in alphabetical order. Lower takes the string and makes everything lowercase, right? And if I run it, there's my original sentences over here, my original strings over here. Here is the subsequent string. It's just lowercase. Casefold almost does the same thing. It actually does do the same thing. Casefold takes a string and makes it all lowercase, but it's a little bit more, what they say, a little bit more aggressive. Remember, English is just one language of many. There could be other languages. So Python will read what's called the Unicode, how things are stored inside the computer. And sometimes foreign languages will have different alphabets, character sets, and lowercase may have issue with that because it's just kind of looking at the English language, the ASCII associated with the English language, where casefold is going to be, they say it's more aggressive. It's prepared more for these potential situations where you have different character sets. In this particular example, it's going to do the exact same thing because I've written in English. Now, if you know of a situation that you have to use casefold. If you know of a language, if you know of a Unicode that requires the use of casefold, please put it in the comments. I've looked at different languages and I just haven't been able to see any significant difference. I've tried German and Spanish and it just doesn't seem like there's any difference. It just puts it into lowercase. So, but if you know of a foreign language that it requires the use of casefold to lowercase it, please put it in the comments. I'd love to see it. All right, so let me clear this up. The next method is swap case. And what that does is it takes everything that was in lowercase and converts it to uppercase, and everything in uppercase and converts it to lowercase. The syntax is pretty much the same. Let's run it. And sure enough, that's what we see. We see the string that started as all lowercase is now all uppercase. We see the string that was all uppercase to now lowercase. But look at the one where it was a little bit formatted. It's hard to see because the first character is uppercase, then everything's lowercase, and then the first character is uppercase. And you'll notice here that the first character B, which was uppercase, is now lowercase. We get all uppercase. It's just, it converts everything. It swaps the case in these particular situations. All right, let's go to the next one. Title. Title returns a string where the first character in every word is uppercase, like a header or a title. It doesn't mean it's going to see the sentence structure. It's just going to see every word in there is going to make it it's going to uppercase the first character of every word, like we would often see inside a title. So if I run it, we look over here, the first word of the first character of every word has been uppercase. I know there's English structures, about titles, and sometimes you do not title minor words. You may not title a, and, for, etc. Again, Python is not an English interpreter. It's not looking for English grammar. It is just saying, okay, it's determining words based upon either the first character in the string and then words that are separated by spaces. So all this is doing is it's a quick way to capitalize every word. All right, next one, upper. Upper is going to do exactly that. It is going to uppercase everything. And let's see what we get into this particular situation. And lo and behold, there you are. I will note, yes, I noticed that this sentence doesn't have a period, right? It's just driving me crazy, but I'm not going to redo the video for a period. You notice that it just took everything and it uppercased it. Now, where I'm going with all this, these are very simple methods that are used quite extensively in Python when we're dealing with string variables. You may say, well, they kind of say, when would you ever completely uppercase them or something completely lowercase something? You actually do. As you come into particular problems and problem sets, it may require you to uppercase everything or to lowercase everything, and these are just tools that give you that particular ability. I will say personally, in many situations, I've used pretty much all of these. I think I may have mentioned in other videos or in some of my lectures. I don't know when I started or why I started. I think I read it somewhere that I would often keep my data, if it didn't had to be in a specific format, I'd keep all my data in lowercase, and then I would manipulate it according to my use. Now, names and stuff like that may not run, but it was just something I did. So let's wrap some things up here. Okay, couple key concepts in this video. One, there are built-in string methods to convert or manipulate the actual string. In other videos, we'll look at other string methods, but this one, there are string methods that will convert that string. But bear in mind, the string is immutable, meaning it doesn't change, it just returns the value. If I want to change that string, I would have to reassign the string. So Python is an outstanding programming language to manipulate strings. We have a lot of built-in methods that will manipulate those strings. They will return a value, but they don't change the original value of the strings. So with that being said, like I said, this should have been a very quick video. With that being said, let's go and learn something.